Wonderful. I'm going to get rid of this and bring up this. There we are. Okay, perfect. All right, I think we should get started then. It is 10:30 here in British Columbia, so 1:30 in Ontario, and I think most of the people that are joining are from Ontario. We had 20 people sign up, but it's whether they come or not, it's wonderful because we're going to send them a recording. So first of all, I hope you're all okay. We've started the recording. We're recording this, and we're going to email it to you, a link to it, so that you can listen to it and share it with any of your friends that want to hear the recording, want to hear what's going on, how it is we're making it so teaching coding is easy. And this particular one is K-3. We do have another one for 3 to 8, but today's is all about kindergarten to grade 3. And I'm your presenter, so Daryl Johnston. I'm the BC and Alberta Education Solutions expert, and I have my teaching degree from UBC. I live in Kelowna. And joining us is the manager of our education division, Keith Nelson. Say hi, Keith.
Hi, Keith.
Hi, there he is again. Wayne and Schuster. I'm old. That sounds like a Wayne and Schuster routine. You probably don't even know what Wayne and Schuster is, right? But anyway, Keith takes care of the rest of the country, although I am right now helping him out in Ontario because it's so busy with your new math curriculum. So just real quickly, some housekeeping. If you do want to make a comment, and we love to hear what you have to say, there is a comment area in the top right. So if you go up and click on the chat, you can leave a comment or ask a question. But we will unmute everybody and answer all the questions before at the end of the session. Okay, let's get started. So real quickly, a breakdown of the company. There's the education division, which is what Keith and I are part of. And so we basically help out schools and school districts across Canada. Then there's the academy, which actually I think this division is going away, but it's really how the company started 12 years ago, which is we actually physically went into classrooms and taught students coding. We still do that online, but it's not quite as big a part of the company, but it's still, we will do teaching of actual students as well if you need us to. And then the third division is our wholesale division. So we sell to companies like Best Buy and Staples, robots.com, any of the other education sellers. And so if you've bought a robot from any of those folks, you've actually bought it from us. So we sell it to them. And as an educator, you're better to talk to us because we have lesson plans and other things that we can help you out with. So please contact us for your coding needs. And here's really a list of some of the robots that we sell. I think I just got some of my own feedback, but if anybody has any questions, again, just use the chat. So here's some of the robots that we sell, and what we're going to concentrate on today is this one on the top left. So it's early elementary. And just to quickly show you what we do, so we've been in business for 12 years. We have several district implementations in BC, Ontario, and New Brunswick. Nova Scotia province-wide implementation, and of course working with many other schools and districts across Canada. Okay, why teach coding? Keith, do you need to mute? Somebody's coughing. And I'm just wondering if can you mute everybody? Or maybe mute yourself. Okay, thanks. So why teach coding? Well, if we think back 20 years ago, obviously there was coding on our flip phones, and there was coding for our thermostats, but there was no coding on our refrigerators. There was nothing really computer with the refrigerators, and certainly not with the with blinds. In fact, when I originally made this slide, I said, for example, there's no coding with blinds. Well, a teacher told me when I was doing a presentation a couple of weeks ago that actually now they have blinds that will sense if there's the sun is shining, and it'll drop the blinds, and then when the sun stops shining, it will raise the blinds. So apparently there's actually coding in blinds as well. So the reality is that there's so many jobs. So even if you're a mechanic or a doctor or a teacher, it's going to be very helpful to understand programming. Now, what we officially say is our goal is not only to educate the future programmers or computer scientists, but to empower every learner with computational thinking for every industry. So what is computational thinking? So computational thinking is how we want students to be able to think when they're programming. So for example, break down data and problems into smaller parts, observe patterns and trends in data, determine what steps are needed to solve a problem, remove details and extract relevant information. So these are what we call higher level outcomes. We are looking to create learners with a growth mindset in computing. So that's really what we're trying to do here, and that's what computational thinking is. And I think it's important, even if you're a kindergarten teacher, to understand where you're going. And so that's why we talk about this. But the neat thing about this is, even though this looks rather difficult, it really isn't. It's very easy and it's really fun to teach the students. But in the end, this is what we want them to know. So, but as far as both the Ontario and the BC curriculum are concerned, you have these already set in the curriculum. So the things they're going to be doing in kindergarten are sequencing and maybe loops. I actually think that's not part of the Ontario kindergarten curriculum. That's moved up into level B, which is grade 1. So loops and events. And of course, you're obviously going to revisit these again and again and again, because, you know, really coding curriculum is very similar to math curriculum, in that there's a lot of pieces where, you know, if you don't know fractions, you can't really do, you know, the next step, algebra, and so on and so forth. So you really have to build, and that's exactly what coding does as well. But it's really easy. And so whatever level you're teaching at, whether it's grade 1, grade 2, whatever it is, you know, we're going to be able to help you find exactly the lesson plans and the things that you need to make it work for you. Now, the interesting part is, if there's anybody outside of BC or Ontario, of course, you're not teaching this probably kindergarten to even grade 4. So starts in either grade 5 or grade 6. That's fine. We have different solutions, but in the end, this scope and sequence works. So it's still the same thing. So instead of starting in K, maybe you're starting in 6. And in 6, maybe instead of just introducing these first 2, you're introducing a lot more. So if it's somebody from another province, please let me know, and I'm happy to help you out with figuring out your coding program. Okay, and so here's really how it works. So the different types of coding. So first of all, from K to 3, it's unplugged, and I'll explain that in a second. And what we're aiming for is the one at the end there, is text-based. That is professional coding. So that's your Scratch coding, your Arduino, your different types of coding languages that professionals use. Your students will be using that in grade 10, 11, 12. So that's where we're going. But real quickly, I want to show you so that you understand, when you start teaching coding to students that are developing readers and aren't reading at this point at a level high enough to use block-based, this is what you're trying to get them ready for. So let me take you in and show you Blockly, which is a wonderful program for block-based coding. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to take these out of here so I can start over. Pretend you didn't see that. There we go. Okay, so block-based coding is so much fun for the students. So we've got this start on here already, but we can do other ways that we can get the robot to start. We can use it for driving. Obviously, we can drive the robot forward. So let's drive the robot forward 50 steps, which is actually 5 grids. So we're going to move forward 50. So we can do the drive. We can make the robot look in different directions and up and down. We can make the robot have different lights. We can make the robot have different sounds. The robot can have different controls. These are the more complex, so these would be grade 7 and 8, variables, and then the accessories that can go with it as well. The one that I missed is animations, and I am going to have dash dance, and I'm going to have dash dance instead of confidently. I'm just going to switch this over to a silly dance. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to make this bigger. Now, this is the most popular education robot. I don't know if you can see because you're seeing my screen too, but if you look at my little picture, you'll see this is the most popular education robot in Canada. It's called Dash. And so we can do the virtual dash on the screen here, and then we can use the physical dash to replicate exactly what we've done on the screen. So I'm just going to click here. Second, I got something in my way. There we go. I'm just going to click on the start button. And now Dash is going to move ahead 5 squares. And then he does a quick little silly dance. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that that's where you're headed. So now when we're talking about, and let's go back here, when we're talking about the unplugged programming, it's moving you towards the block-based programming. So what is unplugged coding? Well, first of all, it's K-4, and there's no devices. So there's no computer, no phone, no tablet. So one of the important pieces, obviously, there's no security problems because they're not connected to the internet. They're just doing this on their own. So each is a self-standing. There's no reading involved. So that's why everybody loves Dash. Dash is fantastic, but it's a little, we certainly do have people that use it, grade 1, grade 2, but there is some reading involved. And so remember, this is entitled Teaching Coding is Easy. Well, it really is with what I'm about to show you, which is called Metata Lab, but there's other solutions that also do this. And what are we learning? Well, we're learning sequencing, predictive thought, understanding the concept of coding, theory testing, and perseverance. So you'll recognize some of those are more general skills. And of course, obviously, we're doing a lot of that as well. So you can use it for a lot of other reasons. Okay, I am going to run this video of Metata Lab so you can see a little bit of it. But really what I'm doing is taking some time so that I can move things around so that I can show you the actual Metata Lab and how it works. Okay. Oh, just a second, I need my mouse to be able to help me here. So hopefully you can all see. Oh no, I have to take myself off this chair. Just a second. Okay, let me go in here. Go in here. And where am I? Stop sharing. So Keith, can you confirm that you can now see Metata Lab?
Yep, you bet.
Perfect. Great. I hope it's a good view of it because I want to show everybody how this works. This is really so much fun. Okay, so now our small robot here is connected to the tower here. Now, first of all, I like to start by pointing out something really important. So Metata Lab comes in a box, and we have a lot of districts that have purchased this for their resource center and send it from school to school to school. So this box is very sturdy and will last a long time, even if it's being transported all over the district. So that's really good. And the box itself is really well designed because these tiles fit exactly in here. And so if you're teaching away and suddenly there's no, there's a tile missing, then you just ask your students, oh, please go see if you can find the green tile. And so you'll know that you've got everything in the box at the end of your lesson. Perfect. Let's get started with the fun stuff. So if I was teaching kindergarten, what I would do is you want to make this as easy as possible. So I'd ask the students, you see I've got a blockade here and a roadblock here. I'd ask the students to have the robot move up one, turn left, and then move one more so it hits the finish line. So what I would do is I would only give them those 3 tiles, because remember, the big thing we're working on here is sequencing. So there's the tiles that make this robot move, and this is the tower that reads the tiles. So let's put the tiles in, and I'm going to put them in the correct order here. And then I'm going to push the button. There he goes forward one, turns left, and goes forward one more. Now, if they do it the wrong way around, great. That's them learning, right? They're learning sequencing. Oh, I have to go forward first. I have to turn left second. I have to go forward again. That's the only way to complete this properly. And so you see how easy that is. But of course, obviously, if you're in more complex, you're teaching grade 2 or 3, then there's lots of other things that you can do as well. So let's try a turn at 36 degrees, and then let's go forward 2 times. So you can see there's more complex things that it can do. So it does, whoop, sorry, I had a little sideways there. There we go. And now it's going to go straight through there. And now it's going to run 2 times at a 36-degree angle. Okay, so there's lots of room to grow. And there's the really neat thing is they make it really easy to use because you have these challenge booklets. So you can use these challenge booklets. So it'll show you how to set up the board. And then you just let the students know what their challenge is. Well, in this one, the challenge is to move it up 1. So it's literally only moving it up 1, and there's the answer. All they have to do is put that single tile in there. Okay, so these challenge books are great. That obviously is the basic one that you'd use probably for kindergarten, grade 1. And here's a much more complex one designed for older students. Okay, and there's actually 3 of these. So there's booklet 1, 2, and 3 that come with your MetadaLab coding set. Okay, great. Next thing is, let's do the drawings next. So let me grab, sorry, I should grab a piece of paper here. So we grab a piece of paper and we can actually draw with MetadaLab. So we take the head off of the robot, we pop it on the piece of paper, we pop in. Now this is a regular Crayola washable crayon. And of course, I'll show you why that's important here, I think, because I should run off the table. And then we still have the same pattern in here. Why don't we just do the same pattern on here, but now with a crayon? There we go. And so one of the things I did intentionally was ran off the paper. Again, this is washable, so you don't have to worry. Whatever you're putting it on, this is going to come off easily. And you can see this drawn on here. Now, that's fun and free play. And we can help them because you have these drawing guides. And so, for example, there's a fairly complex one, but it shows them exactly how to do it. So they just do these different tiles. And then that'll create that drawing. And there's 6 of them. And so they can have, this is a great way for them to learn how to do the drawings. And then obviously, it opens up their minds to doing it however they want to do it. Okay, let's take a look. There's also obviously music. So we've done the regular programming, we've done art, and now we can do music as well. So there's different types of tile for music. So there's a sort of a set piece. Then there's an individual note. And I'm going to have it play that note 5 times. And then there's a chord. And so we have different chords as well. So now let me put my robot back together where you can hear it. And then let me press the start. So hopefully you could hear all of those. So those are all, so there's a nice music component to it. And what I had one teacher tell me was it's really terrific is that they're doing the coding part, and then in the middle she stopped and she did one lesson on music, and the kids really loved that. And so if you have music in your curriculum, which I think both BC and Ontario do at the younger ages, then this is a great way to be able to cover off that curriculum while you're in the middle of doing your coding. And the students love it. They just have so much fun playing because, of course, obviously there's lots of different tiles. You can see there's so many different tiles for music. And so they can just create all sorts of different melodies and tunes and have a lot of fun with it. So that's really a great way to go. Okay, I think that's, what else did I need to show you? I guess the only other thing is that it does come with a user guide as well, but that's not a big deal. Okay, excuse me for a second while I move this out of my way. And now I'm going to come back here. Great. All right, I'm back. Oh, I left my mouse. Okay, perfect. So let me go back to sharing my screen again. And then we're going to talk about the curriculum. And we're going to talk about, there we go. Hopefully you're seeing my screen again. Talk about the curriculum and the price. So first of all, the curriculum. So there's all of our different, let me go into it and show you. So all of our different robots, there's a number of them that have curriculum that come with them. So if you're purchasing any of our other robots, you can also purchase curriculum. It's sold on a yearly basis, $100 a year. And so quite inexpensive. And the neat thing about it, of course, is it could be used multiple times. So, you know, especially this Matata Lab, you'd expect to see it in a number of different classrooms over the year. K-4 it's good for. So, you know, however many classrooms you had, you could all be using it and all be using the curriculum. So let's click into the curriculum. Now this curriculum, we're just breaking it out into individual curriculum pieces for Ontario, but for now it's a PDF. But you can see there's 66 pages. So there's a lot of information about different ways that you can use Matata Lab. Also on the website is a great page about Matata Lab. So it talks about it, has the video on there, talks about why, talks about gamifications, let your imagination run free, some of the add-ons that you can get with it. So there's lots of great information on our website as well. And there's the price, as I promised you. So normally it's $320, but until the end of September, our back to school sale has it at $250. And it's everything that I just showed you. So you can see on here what's available. And of course, it does come with that artist add-on, the musicians add-on, and the basic coding set that I showed you as well. Okay. Let's go to, so there, as I said, this is only one solution. There's other solutions, and certainly one that we sell is M-Tiny. Now, the wand works the same basically as that tower that you were seeing on Matata Lab. The one thing that there aren't lesson plans that come with M-Tiny, so it's more for open learning, and they certainly have a lot of fun with M-Tiny. But I do think that more popular for the classroom is Matata Lab, but the M-Tiny is a terrific product as well. So let me quickly show you the video on that.
I don't think the sound's coming through.
So you can see how similar that is to Matata Lab. So it's unplugged, just like that. There you go. So M Tiny is also quite inexpensive, $177 for the M Tiny, and that includes all those pieces that you saw there, the board and everything. So it's a great way to work with your students as well. Okay, so I think the biggest thing is you can see how much fun these would be to work with, and how easy it would be to teach with either Metatalab or mTiny. So professional development, we offer professional development. Do you need it for Metatalab or mTiny? No, you're going to be able to do just fine with this product. Again, the books all give you the answers for everything. So if you've never coded before in your life, you don't know anything about coding, doesn't matter. You're going to be able to very easily, you'll figure it out in less than a half hour playing with it by yourself, how it all works and what it all does. And then you've got lots of help online as well. But having said that, of course, one of the things we would love to do is set up your entire district with Metatalab or whatever solution you choose for K-4. And so when we email you, one of the questions we're going to ask is there somebody at the district level that we can talk to? Because then if you do purchase at the district level, then we would love to do a training. It's $400 for an hour. But if you have like your entire, all your teachers K-4 are doing it on a PD day, then obviously it makes that very inexpensive and a great way to learn how to use Metatalab or mTiny or whatever solution you're using. This is one of 5 different webinars that we're providing. So if you liked this one, or if you have some friends that are teaching 4 to 8 and are interested in how to make it much easier. Now, most of the districts have some sort of solution for 4 to 8, but that doesn't mean it's easy and fun. And so if they want to see how they can make teaching coding easy and fun, then join us for that webinar. And you can go to our homepage, I believe, and sign up for the webinar. There's also one that's really designed for principals and people at the district level. It's the K-12 coding review. It's what are you missing? How can we make it easier for you? And that's really an individual one. So if somebody from your board or district would like to give us a call, we'd love to set something up specifically, a date and time specifically for you folks. The 4th one is reviewing the new Ontario math coding curriculum. So a little different. It's not really for district level people. That's really for teachers to understand the whole system and where they fit in that system. And then the last one is Makerspace. So we sell laser printer, etcher, and we sell 3D printer and robots and things that are fantastic for your makerspace. So if you know of anybody who wants any of these webinars, please have them get a hold of us. And the last one, I'm hoping you'll go and take a look at www.logicsacademy.com/community. So that's where you can chat with other teachers about subjects that you're interested in. So you can come in as a teacher and create a subject and then have other people comment on it. And then once you get really good at coding and want to join, you can join as an ambassador, which means you now are feel pretty confident in coding and might be able to help some of the other teachers. And then if you do want to do some presentations at conferences or with other teachers, then you can become a Logix innovator as well. And so please go to the website, You can register as a teacher and then just see what everybody's doing. It's easy enough if you're getting too much, just unregister, unsubscribe, and that'll work too. Okay, that's it. I see that I'm right on time. How about that? So there's our information. So if you have any questions and don't have time to ask them now, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. So there's, I'm BC and Alberta, and Keith really, you can contact him for all the other provinces. And if you want to contact Logix directly, there we are there. So this is the end, but we're going to stick around and answer any questions. Keith, I think if you want to turn off the recording at this point, and then folks can just ask any questions that they want. So if you want to unmute, I guess everybody